There isn't a single way to recognize a cult film other than the simple fact that it has developed a fiercely devoted audience that watches it over and over again. But certain cult movies have gained fame and influence to compete with any box office success and become part of the most watched films in the cinema industry. Some of them are in our top 10 of cult classic films. Number 10. Donnie Darko, 2001. Even when it was an unknown film to a lot of people, this science fiction story eventually became a cult movie. Donnie Darko won only $7.7 million during its time at the box office, but since has added a huge audience that enjoys it obsessively. Number 9. Clerks, 1994. A low-budget black and white comedy doesn't seem to be an obvious candidate for this list, but the scriptwriter and director influenced so much humor in the film that Clerks became a classic cult movie. It also launched Kevin Smith's career to fame, and many of his films are developed in the same universe as Clerks. Number 8. The Evil Dead, 1981. An innovative movie, Evil Dead was nothing like a horror movie of the time. Thanks to this, it had a large audience and created a new group of fans despite being a cheap movie. The film created a franchise and eventually turned Sam Raimi into a great film director in Hollywood. Number 7. Pink Floyd, The Wall, 1979. Scenes that reflect the childhood demons of one of the most famous rock stars of the time, combined with the music of one of the most important bands, seems the perfect formula for an unforgettable movie. Director Alex Parker made of this film a surreal and psychedelic experience that was praised by critics who were impressed by this movie. Number 6. Harold and Maude, 1971. A romance between a young man obsessed with death and a very morbid woman over 70 years old is the plot that develops in this black comedy. Strange characters that unfold in an innovative story for the time made this movie in one of the most important cult films of all time. Number 5. A Clockwork Orange, 1971. Hated by some people but loved by many, this film from the 70s became an obligatory reference in the world of cinema. The film narrates the misdeeds made by Alex DeLarge, a very charismatic and passionate psychopath, a fan of Beethoven, violence, and sex. Despite the strong controversy that was created after its premiere, A Clockwork Orange, both for its aesthetics and its content, is considered one of the best movies of all time. Number 4. Pulp Fiction, 1994. Due to its mixture of violence, irony, and humor, this film is probably one of Tarantino's most praised creations. The story is about two hitmen who, working for a gangster, who are involved in different crazy and unusual situations. Unlike many cult films, this one was particularly successful, and despite the controversy, critics loved it since the premiere. Number 3. Withnail I, 1987. A funny tragicomedy, wild and with surreal touches, Withnail I is considered a cult movie, especially in Britain. This film proved to have an undoubted ability to show the public brilliant interpretations of its two protagonists, Paul McGann and Richard E. Grant. Number 2. The Big Lebowski, 1998. Recognized by Coen Brothers fans as one of their most representative works, The Big Lebowski was also a box office failure at the time of its release. These peculiar directors created one of their funniest films, a satire of black cinema, and also, for many, is a social and political criticism. With great sales and merchandise, this film is considered one of the most important cult films in the history. Number 1. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, 1975. Is it possible that another movie took the first place? We think not. For many movie lovers, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is the most important and representative cult movie in the world. With millions of fans, this film even had its own tradition in which once a year people dressed as some of the characters to meet and re-watch, sing and represent moments of the film. Thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We publish content every week for your entertainment. Leave a comment to let us know what you would like to see in our next Top 10.